Shalom, 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 my brothers, my sisters. Peace and greetings to you, and welcome to another Truthful Tuesday. I know it's been a while, but hey, we're trying to get back in the mix. And appreciate you, brothers and sisters, tuning in tonight. I'm your brother Ananias for A.O.I. And it's like I said before, it's another Truth Tuesday where we discuss current events of the world and things that our brothers and sisters do need to know and understand. I'm Brother Ananias once again for A.O.I., the Awakening of Israel, and want to give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, Yahweh being the Heavenly Father, Yahushua being His Son, who the world calls Christ, and through His example, strength, and sacrifice, we are able to come together to be edified nonetheless. Shout out to you brothers and sisters who are enduring and pushing to keep the commandments, to stand up against the wickedness of this world, to separate yourselves from the wickedness of this world, but to be edified and to push harder for the Most High. So shout out to you all for that, But we're going to jump right into it. And today we're going to be talking about a couple of different current events, but we're going to start off with one in particular dealing with a new tick-borne disease that is wiping out cattle in the U.S. So as you can see in your grocery stores and around different articles or videos surfacing on the internet, the prices of beef is going up. And you're constantly thinking to yourself, why is this happening? Why is everything going up on a constant? You know what I'm saying? Why is everything constantly going up? So we got to dig deep to find these answers. And most of the time, it only takes a little bit of research to find out why things happen the way they happen. And for the nation of Israel, the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, we tend to look in the wrong directions. And most of the time, the truth is staring us right in the face. And no pun intended, but yeah, we got a series called The Truth is Staring You Right in the Face. So make sure you check that out as well on one of our playlists, breaking down different movies where the truth is staring you right in the face. But we're going to get back to this article. Shalom, brother.
Shalom, King.
All right. Like we were saying, we're going to get into this article about the new tick-borne disease that is wiping out the cattle in the U.S. This article is from November the 21st of this year. So I'll read it, unless you can read it, King.
All right, let me see. In the spring of 2021, Cynthia and John Grano, who own a cattle operation and sell performance horses in Culpeper County, Virginia, started noticing some of their cows slowly started noticing some of their cows slowing down and acting spacey. They figured the animal were suffering from an anaplasmosis. I'm pronouncing that wrong, fam. A common infectious disease that causes anemia in cattle. But Melinda McCall, their veterinarian, had warned them that another disease carried by a parasite was spreading rapidly in the area. After a third cow died, the Granos decided to test its blood. Sure enough, the test came back positive for the disease, deliria. With no treatment available, the cows kept dying.
So here these cows were, they thought it was some disease, some pestilence that they have experienced before, or they had came up with a cure with, but at this particular time they didn't have no cure for it. Mind you, this article came out on the 21st of this month. So the cows start slowing down and they start dying off. Keep reading.
And it says right here, it said in September, by which time the couple had already lost 6 cows and 7 calves. Cynthia noticed a cow separated from the herd. She was walking up to it when it suddenly charged at her and knocked her over, breaking her shoulder blade. By that afternoon, the cow was dead.
Uh,
Cattle own
imagine that you own cows, you've been taking care of them, grooming them, and all of a sudden you go out there one day and they charge you and knock you over and break your shoulder blade. You know how hard you got to get hit for the break your shoulder blade. But it's the animals turning on Esau. You know what I'm saying? Turning back on them. Those are them curses beginning to start to flip on them. But let's keep reading.
It says, yeah, cattle owners like the Graynos are not alone. Livestock producers around the country are confronting this new and unfamiliar disease, if they can detect in their herds at all, without much information. Researchers still don't know how thalaria will unfold in the United States. Even as it quickly spreads west across the country, if states can't get the disease under control, then nationwide production losses from sick cows could significantly damage both individual operations and the entire industry.
So they trying
Thalaria,
to get their hands around it right now. They trying to figure out what the hell can we do. You know, we can't lose our livestock, which is normal for somebody to try to figure it out. But for these different diseases that keep popping up, or these different pestilences that keep popping up, it's no coincidence. But let's keep going, King.
all right, Thalaria, which is in the same family as malaria, is being transmitted largely through the Asian longhorn tick. An invasive species like this, excuse me, an invasive species first discovered in the U.S. in 2017.
Now it's funny how every time something come out, it come from Asia. But you know how
Right,
we do. They love to point the finger, but that's them pointing the finger right there, saying it came from an Asian longhorn tick. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it, but you know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
right between Moab and Esau, man, it really ain't no telling, bro.
Right. Both of them prideful as hell. Both of them wicked as hell.
Come, man, it's like they competing for who can be the most wickedest.
Right.
You know, I created COVID. No, I created COVID. I mean, well, you know, that's you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That thing. Yeah, we had to bleep that out. You know. But it's just like it is, you know. It just seemed like both of them on a wicked, stage together, man. But I digress. It says the tick is native to Korea, China, Russia, and Japan. As it has spread in the U.S., so has deliria. The disease has been found in cattle in West Virginia, North Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, Pennsylvania, and Kansas. Some sale barns in Virginia saw the prevalence of deliria increase from 2 to 20% in just 2 years.
So they know what it is, but they ain't being able to come up with any type of cure for it. Let's read one or two more paragraphs and we'll get some scripts on it.
God. It says deliria can cause cows to abort their fetus. It can also cause anemia so severe that a cow will die. In Australia, where the disease has been spread since 2012 and now affects a quarter of the cattle, deliria costs the beef industry an estimated 19.6 million a year in reduced milk and meat yields, according to a 2021 paper.
You see that? So it's saying in 2012, the cost of the beef industry was it cost the beef industry an estimated 19.6 and a reduction in the milk. So when you see the milk going up and you see the beef going up, this is part of the reason why. You know, but they're not coming out on the news and explaining it to you. It's not in your newspaper articles. It's not on your social media. All you know is the beef that used to be $5-6 a pound. Now it's $10. Now it's $15. The milk that used to be $2 a gallon, now it's $4 and $5 and $6 a gallon. But they're not explaining to you why these things happen. This is just one of the reasons.
If I may say too, brother, I noticed every time Esau ended up doing something, like some type of tragic event happened, or some type of pandemic or something happened, afterwards, everything goes up. And it don't go up for like a short time, a short period of time. It goes up for the rest of the year, for the rest of the time.
Right.
And so it's like they purposely, doing these type of events, doing these type of things to these cows or whatever to cause, prices to go up or to push some other agenda they got in play.
Mm-hmm. A perfect example would be when they knocked them 2 towers down up north back in the day. You know what I'm saying? As soon as they had them planes that did damage, you know what I'm saying, the gas prices went through the roof.
True.
I'm like, I don't understand how a building falling got to do anything with the gas.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Hey, we that's another lesson because they took it off the YouTube, you know what I'm saying? They took it off the internet so you won't know. But like you said, that's crazy. How 2 buildings fell. Got to do with anything, got to do with gas. But but we crazy though.
Exactly. But let me see.
Well, let me finish up. Yeah, let me finish it right here.
Right.
It says in Japan and Korea, the combined loss in estimated $100 million annually. Kevin Lawrence, an associate professor at Massey University, who studies deliria in New Zealand, says that country has managed to avoid abortions because 95% of calf in the spring there, the same season he's seen deliria affecting cows. In the U.S., however, calving season has been excuse me, brother. Calving season can be year around. I think in America, you are going to see abortions, he says. You are going to see deaths. And yet, while the U.S. livestock industry has acknowledged delirious presence and the threat it possesses, it seems to want to blunt concern. In statements to MIT Technology Review, the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, one of the largest cattle lobbying groups, said that occurrence of the disease remain rare in the United States.
Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, I meant to go here first. Let's go to Jeremiah 28:8. Because they all they talking about is money right there. That's all they concerned with money. They talking about how much money they lost, how much money they gained. That's all they concerned with. If we don't pay attention to anything else, understand that Esau, Moab are only concerned with money. Money.
Yeah,
So
that's their main.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro. I was just gonna say, yeah, that's their main concern is definitely money. Moab want to stay on top. Esau trying to get back on top. That's is all about money, man. They don't get a damn about the people, the health, or their well-being. Only thing they give a damn about is their dollar.
That's right. And that's why they got to go, man. They don't care about nothing else but money, fame, or some type of riches. Being in control. But I'm gonna read the book of Jeremiah, chapter 28, verse. Let me see. I'm gonna start at 7.
You want me to get it?
Okay.
Okay, sorry about that. Jeremiah 28, verse 7.
Yes, sir.
It said, nevertheless.
7 and 8.
Nevertheless, hear thou now this word that I speak in thy ears, and in the ears of all the and all the people, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old, prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence.
And pestilence. And pestilence. This is what this is, new tick-borne disease, malaria, as the brother was reading in the article. Knocking these cows off all around the world. Been doing it since 2012. But it's the first time I done heard of it by reading this article. The things that they actually being plagued with, they try to keep it on the hush-hush. They still put it out there, but on a low level. But the Lord saying, prophesy against these great kingdoms and of pestilence, of war and evil. All of this is evil being flipped back on to these other nations, especially Esau, for all the wickedness that they have done to us in the past. Let's go to Isaiah 55 and 11. Isaiah chapter 55 and 11. Because it's
The
our
book of
job
Isaiah.
as prophets. We got to let the people know how wicked these kingdoms are, how wicked the people in positions of power are, how far they're willing to go just to make a dime, just to keep us on the bottom and to keep them on top. They willing to go a long way to do this, and we're going to piece this all together with the other articles that we got loaded up. But go ahead, King.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 11. It says, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it.
Right. So the Lord saying basically, when he speak it, it's going to happen. His word is not going to go out void. If he say something going to happen, it's going to happen. So us prophesying against this wicked kingdom about war, about the evilness, and about the pestilence, that's prophesied, that's documented. It's going to happen. He spoke it, it's going to happen. So let's go to the book of Deuteronomy 30 and 7 right quick. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7. This is nothing new in the earth. We all know these things. They are what they had beforehand. When that woman got ran over by the cow, you would call that mad cow disease. You would think that cow was pissed off. You know what I'm saying? What you doing out here? You know, he done rammed her and broke her shoulder blade. That's what the article said. You would think that would be mad cow disease, you know. But nonetheless, it's pestilence. Plaguing these cows. They bleeding to death, hemorrhaging, bleeding out. Pestilence. Let's get that in Deuteronomy 30 and 7. Still there, King? All right, fell out. Okay. But let's go to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 7. Because like I was reading, or like I said, Isaiah 55 and 11, the word of the Lord is not void. It will not go out void. Deuteronomy 30 and 7, and it said, and the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies and upon them that hate thee, which persecute thee. So these are the curses being flipped back onto the other nations. And what I mean by that is because that's part of the curse that was put on us, where the other nations, our cattle, our kind, would be destroyed, basically. The other nation would eat it up. Pestilence would eat our cattle up. But now these things are being flipped onto the other nations where it's eating their cattle up. Why is that happening? Because we waking up as a nation of people. As we begin to wake up and stand up, their kingdom begins to crumble. We need to understand that. That's why it's that much more important for the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans to stand up and start keeping these commandments. Repent and remember who you are, you know. Just like it was in Egypt. Matter of fact, let me go get there right quick. Exodus 9 and 1. I'm going to show you how it was in the beginning when we were first coming out of Egypt. Same thing happening, same thing going on now. The book of Exodus chapter 9 verse 1. Then the Lord said unto Moses, go unto Pharaoh and tell him, thus saith the Lord God of the Hebrews, let my people go, that they may serve me. For if thou refuse to let them go, and will hold them still. Behold, the hand of the Lord is upon thy cattle, which is in thy field, or in the field, upon the horses, upon the asses, upon the camels, upon the oxen, and upon the sheep. There shall be a very grievous murrain, and the Lord shall sever between the cattle of Israel and the cattle of Egypt. And there shall nothing die of all that is the children of Israel. And the Lord appointed a set time, saying, tomorrow the Lord shall do this thing in the land. And the Lord did that thing on the morrow, and all the cattle of Egypt died. But of the cattle of the children of Israel died not one. That's a perfect example of the curses being flipped. You know, right now we really don't own too many cattle. You got a few brothers and sisters that own some livestock, but for the most part, our enemies have our livestock. And these different pestilences are plaguing them, killing they cattle off, killing their livestock off. But this is part of the plagues being reversed, flipped back on Egypt. Because this land that we living in, Babylon the Great, is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. You see the sodomy going on here. More men want to be women each and every day, and more women want to be more like a man every day. All manner of wickedness. Egypt is called spiritually Egypt because of how we have to slave here. We were bought here as slaves, and we still slaves to this day, you know, and it's even on the backside of the money, letting us know without a shadow of a doubt that we still in captivity. But let's go to the book of Jeremiah chapter 12, verse 4. Jeremiah chapter 12, verse 4. Hopefully you're taking notes so that you can reference these points in the future when you see these things happening. Because they ain't going to just stop with these cows. It's going to continue to happen. It's going to continue to get worse. So make sure you're following along and making notes in your Bible. Jeremiah chapter 12, verse 4, and it reads, how long shall the land mourn, and the herbs of every field wither? For the wickedness of them that dwell therein, the beasts are consumed, and the birds, because they said, he shall not see our last end. So everything right now is mourning. All the lands are mourning. The animals are mourning. The people are mourning. Why? Because the wicked are in control. Job 9:24 tell you that the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So everything is mourning right now. The trees are mourning. They're getting chopped down on a constant, being poisoned. The sky is being poisoned with the damn chemtrail. The water is being poisoned with the different pollutions. The animals with the different foods, the GMOs that they feeding them. Everything is mourning right now. Matter of fact, let's go to the book of 2nd Ezra in the Apocrypha, chapter 15, verse 11. You know it's bad when everything is mourning. Everything on the planet is mourning. Ain't nobody rejoicing. You know what I'm saying? Even the damn so-called sports athletes, they win a championship, they ain't even happy no more. Everybody mourning, man. Ain't nothing great. I watched a video the other day with Kobe Bryant. He won MVP. They asking him, how do you feel? He said the goal at the beginning of the season was to win a championship, not to win an MVP. So he wasn't happy about that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody mourning, man. The animals mourning, the water, the sky, the trees, the ground, everything is mourning because the wicked are in control. You know, let's go to the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 11 and 12. 2nd Ezra, chapter 15, verse 11 and 12 in the Apocrypha. And it reads, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt. You see that? We already came out of Egypt. Right now, we spiritually in Egypt. This is what the Lord is talking about. I will smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and the punishment that Yahweh shall bring upon it. You see that? Babylon, Egypt, the wickedness of this world will be smitten by the Lord. And when he speak it, it don't go out void. We already established that back in Isaiah 55 and 11. So it's going to happen. No, it ain't going to happen all at one time. What kind of movie would that be? You know, we all starring in the Most High's movie. If everything just happened just like that at the snap of a finger, hey, that wouldn't be a good movie to watch. But as you slowly start to see the curses starting to flip on other nations, these plagues and pestilence start to come out, show themselves, the rumors of war, the evil that's going on in this world, you'll start to understand, well, damn, what the Lord spoke, it really is happening, which makes it a true book. But you got something you want to add, King?
No, I was just saying, yeah, Khan, man, because all these curses and pestilence that's going on, these things coming to pass, and you know what? This is what I get. This is what I don't get about Israel, that says that the Bible's not real, that these, you know, it's just a religion and all these things, but yet the prophecies is keep coming to play. And you know what? It's a book of prophecy, man.
Right.
You know, people don't believe in that stuff no more. You know, black people like to call themselves spiritual, but they can't discern the things that's going on, you know. But the Bible does. So yeah, man, these things have to come to pass in order for this thing to end.
That's right.
So like you said, it's a beautiful movie, beautiful story.
All right. So moving on, we're gonna go to this next article, and it's dealing with the FDA, saying they have approved lab-grown meat for human consumption. Understand that. So you like to go out and eat, you see the prices rising on everything, and you see cheap meat over here, you see expensive meat over here. Don't be fooled. Lab-grown meat is being approved by your FDA. You know what I'm saying? We're going to read the article. This article came out on November the 17th, as you can see. We're going to dig into it. Let's see what they're talking about. Can you read it?
Yeah. It says the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, for the first time, cleared a meat product grown from animal cells for human consumption. The agency announced on Wednesday.
You see that? A meat product grown from animal cells. Grown from animal cells. And he say came, the animal, the mother gave birth to the child. It said from the cells. Go ahead.
It says Upside Foods, a company that makes cell cultured chicken by harvesting cells from live animals using the cells to grow meat in stainless steel tanks, will be able to bring its products to market once it has been inspected by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. It said a release from the FDA. Go ahead.
It says a company that makes cell cultured chicken by harvesting cells from live animals and using the cells to grow meat. They using cells to grow meat like you putting seeds in the ground. Listen to that. By harvesting cells from live animals and using the cells to grow meat in stainless steel tanks. That's
Man,
not, they growing the meat in a damn stainless steel refrigerator. You know, so we'll be able to bring products to market once it has been inspected by the USDA. This is where we didn't got to trusting in our enemies, trusting in oppression. This is the thing that they do behind the scene because they come up with so many damn what you call it, policies and laws that prohibit them from doing the right thing. You know, like you killing and slaughtering on a daily basis, but the meat is only good once you cook it for an hour. You throwing it away. You know, so you're not able to produce the amount of meat that you throwing away. You know what I'm saying? To be able to make your profit that you hang your hat on. They're not able to. Nature won't let you do that. I put it that way. There's no way you can do that without going in there and genetically modifying something. Like I was telling my brothers the other day, at certain chicken factories, they can grow a full-grown chicken from an egg in like a month. A full-grown chicken from a month from straight from the egg to being a full-grown chicken from all the different steroids. Yes, it's gonna be defects, but still, they are able to grow a full-grown chicken from an egg in a month. Understand the severity of it. Want to read the last paragraph?
Yeah. It says the world is experiencing a food revolution, and the FDA is committed to supporting innovation in the food supply, said FDA Commissioner Robert M. Califf and Susan Main, director of the FDA's Center for Safety and Applied Nutrition, in a statement. It says the FDA said in the documents released on Wednesday that it had reviewed data from the company and had no further questions about the company's conclusion that its product is safe for humans to eat. It said, "We are thrilled at FDA's announcement," said David K., Upside's director of communications. In an email, "This historic step paves the way for our path to market." Was that market? Yeah, to market. The review is not technically in approval and applies only to the Upside products, though the agency is ready to work with our firm developing culture animal cell food, the FDA said in a release. USDA and FDA together regulate cell culture meat under a 2019 agreement between the two agencies. USDA will oversee the processing and labeling of the cell culture meat products.
You see that?
Man, this guy don't stop being wicked, man.
I'm telling you.
This guy don't stop being wicked. I mean, like, he at it all the time. He at it all the time, man. It's like, when do he go to sleep? When he go to sleep and let's say, like, you know what, I'm not gonna be wicked today. I'm gonna chill, I'm relax. I guess him and Moab, they tag team together, man. He tag out, Moab tag in, man.
Right.
Like, I got this, chef. But I'm gonna read this right quick. The book of Proverbs, Proverbs 8 and 12. Proverbs 8 and 12. It says, "I wisdom dwell with prudence, and find out knowledge of witty inventions." The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil way and the forward mouth do I hate. So, saying, through the wisdom of the Most High, we find out these witty inventions, which is wicked as hell. Creating these damn meat out of animal cells, man. It's like, why? Like, why do it? Why sell it on the market? But that's what's going on, man. This is going on in Esau wicked world, man.
Let me get the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in their power, in the power of their hand." So they able to sleep. They don't lose no sleep behind it. So but as soon as they wake up in the morning, they right back at it. Practicing evil because it's in their hand. It's in the power of them to do so. It's wicked as hell right here. Rather than them say, "Hey, let's cut back and come up with a new meal. Let's eat more vegetables." They say, "Nah, we got to keep that demand high. Supply and demand, baby. Supply and demand. We got to go grow that meat or something." Next thing you know, they'll be getting it out the damn dumpster, or get it back out the trash can, recooking it.
Right. Now, hey, That's it's like I don't understand. Like, man, like they want to pretend to be God, and that's Esau. Main thing is to be the Most High. Why replicate the meat that he already got here? Read it like you've been doing it and call it a day. But Esau so wicked, I got to go into the sale of the meat and to the animal and create. And basically, he want to clone these animals. That's all he really want to do.
Right.
But that's why the Lord got to take them out, man. He got to be taken out.
Yeah, I just want to show some other things right quick concerning that lab meat or that clone meat. Let me pull this other screen up right quick. They call it the don't ask, don't tell on clone meat.
What the hell? Well, I tell you,
Don't ask, don't tell.
man, that's crazy, man. And that's the same thing they used in the military back in the day for the
Yeah.
gay people that don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah.
That's crazy as hell, man.
So
I
hold
get.
on. I think I jumped the gun right quick. Let me show something else right quick. Jump the gun a little bit. So, all right. So that was lab meat that they were saying they were growing from cells from the animals. This one is basically where the FDA will approve clone meat for consumption. This came out in January 2008. It says it could be years before meat from cloned animals hits the store shelves. Now that the FDA has given producers permission to sell it, but the milk from cloned offspring could hit the market sooner. So that's letting you know this article came out in 2008. So it's 2022. They already letting you know that they producing clone milk and they selling it. Also, it says the milk and the meat for cattle, swine, and goat clones are as safe to eat as the food we eat every day, said Randall Lutter of the FDA. Currently, only a few hundred clones exist. That was in 2008 now. And they'll likely be used for breeding. You see that? Some genetically modified food already is available in American groceries. In fact, the food industry says that if a product has corn or soybean in it, it probably has been genetically modified. We would not be using those ingredients unless the authorities had evaluated them and determined them to be safe, said Mark Nelson of the Grocery Manufacturers Association. It says other countries have moved more slowly and been more cautious in giving the green light to clone food. So the other countries outside of the U.S., they said, man, we got to take it slow on this. We actually care about our people. But it says in Europe, where our more activist consumer culture exists, recent reports said it is very unlikely there's any difference in the safety of cloned or genetically modified products and natural products. But Europe remains divided about food that contains genetically modified plants and grains, while in the United States, genetically modified food is so common, most people don't even realize they're eating it. You see that? It's so common here in the U.S., people don't even know that they're eating it. In the United States, determining which foods have been genetically modified can be difficult because they don't have to be labeled as such. The FDA also doesn't plan to require the labels for cloned animal products. So you got to think about that as well. When you go into the grocery stores and they be trying to seduce you, yes, I use the word seduce. They try to seduce you, manipulate, control you, or make you to think that this meat is better than that meat because it's grass-fed or grain-fed. Why won't they put the label on there to let you know if it's cloned or not? These are the things you got to ask. These are the things you got to do a little research on. Because the FDA does not require them to label if the meat is cloned or not. See that?
And you know what, bro? If I may say one thing,
Bring it out.
I believe that what they call organic meat is clone meat.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you started thinking about why are you labeling it organic anyway if it's meat, you know? So like I noticed that through the grocery store, like they always have that label on there, like non-antibiotic organic beef. And I'm like, huh? That makes no sense. So I believe that they're growing that meat, especially most of your organic looking meat. It'd be the ground looking beef
I
or the
just looked up.
ground.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna do that. Let's go look up the word organic. Let's look up organic. It says relating to or derived from living matter, produced or involving production without the use of chemical fertilizers, pesticides, or other artificial agents. So basically, organic is something living, live, animate, biological, natural, pesticide free, additive free. But we let's see.
And see, you know what? By Esau definition, natural is something that you can create, that he can create. He'll call that natural. Just like when you get your juice on the back label of it, it have natural, like in the back of the ingredients,
Mm-hmm.
natural flavoring. What is supposed to mean? Natural flavoring, natural this, and come to find out, a lot of those natural products be chemical products. Well, be some type of animal that they spliced up and processed it some type of way and filtered it out to be some type of chemical, some type of flavoring agent. It's always something with Esau, so that's what he labeled organic.
Mm-hmm.
What happened just being meat? What happened to that, Esau? But what he called organic is really inorganic.
Right.
you know it's not really organic, man. So yeah, he want to mask it, calling that crap natural or organic, but it's really not. It's something he created. Just say he just needs to stop putting on it on his meat. Just label it. It's clone. You want to eat clone meat or you don't. It'll be
Right.
your choice.
I would like to know if it's clone meat or not. You know what I'm saying? But it's just funny how. Matter of fact, let me go to this next article. The don't ask, don't tell on clone meat. It says after 4 years of deliberation, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration (FDA) announced today that meat from cloned animals and their offspring is safe to eat. But despite public unease and lingering scientific uncertainty, so they science and even prove that it's uncertain, but they still gonna roll with it. The scientific uncertainty, the FDA won't require such meat to be labeled or tracked. Or tracked. They track everything, but they don't want to track the clone meat. That's crazy to me. It says food producers say they're not about to put clone meat on their shelves. Let's see. It's basically the same article that we just read about them not putting labels on. But it says, let's see.
When we get a king.
I was trying to find some key in here. It's basically saying the same thing, but you can start at according.
But check this out. It said according to what's that? I'm sorry, King.
Roast off.
Okay, yeah, I can see it now. It was real small. It's according to Rostov, the FDA should have treated clone animals as a new animal drug, thus requiring a higher level of scrutiny and testing. Anything that change the structure of the cell is a new animal drug.
Mm.
Cloning changes that structure. It said we filed a petition, but the FDA said they were using their discretion, that all they needed to do was some sort of risk assessment. The risk assessment, said Rostov, is based largely on conflicting industry data. It said, you know, so basically they don't want to come out and say what it is, you know. And you know what? We've probably been eating that clone meat, man. Cause think
Ain't no
about it,
doubt.
McDonald's during the pandemic, they said they was the only people that didn't run out of meat.
Mm,
I think it was McDonald's and Burger King. Meanwhile, everybody else ran out of meat, and that's
right,
crazy as hell. I remember my cousin like, man, I went to Wendy's, man. They said they out of meat. Damn, he was mad. But McDonald's reportedly they was still open, man. So you know they run that same meat, man.
right. It
But
says
this man,
cloning indeed causes genetic alterations. The extraordinary rates of early and horrible deaths among cloned animals testify graphically to that. Now, what we're gonna do is go further back to 1996. This right here that you see is the lamb that they first cloned was called Dolly, named after Dolly Parton. But it was in July of 1996 where they cloned this sheep. Uh, I'll read. It says was a finished Dorset sheep and the first mammal clone from an adult somatic cell. She was cloned by associates of Roslin Institute in Scotland using the process of nuclear transfer from a cell taken from a mammary gland. Her cloning proved that a cloned organism could be produced from a mature cell from a specific body part. Contrary to popular belief, she was not the first animal to be cloned. So she was not the first animal to be cloned, but I'm guaranteeing she was probably the best looking or best presentable looking animal that they could actually take pictures of or announce to the public. The other things they probably damn mutated in the lab, probably had 3 heads, 6 eyes, you know what I'm saying? And they didn't want to bring that out there. So this was probably the best thing that they could bring out at that time. So it says the employment of adult somatic cells in lieu of embryonic stem cells for cloning emerged from the. Is that what I want? No, I don't want that. Yeah, this is what I wanted. Said Dolly lived at the Roslin Institute throughout her life and produced several lambs. So they cloned her to reproduce. She was euthanized at the age of 6 years due to the progressive lung disease. No cause which linked the disease to her cloning was found. So this lamb they cloned it. They produced it to basically be that cow that keeps on giving. You know the what you call it the gifting cow. So
okay, right.
it was brought to clone to be able to reproduce more offspring. But then the animal ended up catching lung disease, and they don't know why. And it says body was preserved and donated by the Roslin Institute in Scotland for the National Museum of Scotland, where it's been regularly exhibited since 2003. Point being, uh, this animal, Dolly, was the first lamb that was cloned that they was willing to bring to the public. Once born, it lived 6 years, and then it died from lung disease. But it brought forth offspring, you know, and we don't know what actually happened to those other animals, the animals that she gave birth to. If any defects within those animals, those are the same type of animals that they breed and chop up and put on your damn grocery in your grocery store. Therefore, when you read the label, I mean, it's bad enough with the animals that we believe to be homegrown or organic. We don't know what happened to them. If they had any type of disease or anything like that, we just go in there and buy it, take it home, cook it up. And the same thing going on with the clone meat. You know, they can add any damn thing to the clone meat. You know, put something in it to start making our women, their bodies start shaping differently. Make it where the men don't grow hair like they used to. Change the DNA code or structure to whatever they want. But they selling it in the stores, and then the FDA or the USDA don't require them to label anything, which it blows my mind. The things that are the most toxic or the most important, they don't list what's in it, or they don't list what it is on the label. Just like with the cigarettes, Black and Mild, blunts, they don't list what's listed in it. They just put on there warning, this may cause this, but you're not telling or showing all the different products that's in there. When you uh, read the back of a damn sticker label, it telling you everything that's in it, supposedly.
Con. Cause hey, like you said, why you don't show the ingredients on the back of the label of the cigarette packages? Because if they actually show people that it had rat poison in it, people probably won't even smoke that.
Right.
You know. And I heard that's what's in it. I seen a documentary a couple years back, and it was saying what's in the cigarette. In fact, I read the article about it. They said rat poison. It's like a part, the chemical they use to make it, the same chemical that's in the cigarettes, which is crazy, man.
Mm-hmm. So let me see. Matter of fact, let's go to Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 13, right quick. Book of Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 13. Ezekiel chapter 4, verse 13.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 4, and verse 13. And it says, and the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whether I would drive them.
You see that? So we can't really trust in our enemies, but we need them. By reading the scripture, we understand wherever we go, being mixed among the Gentile, we're going to be eating defiled bread, defiled foods. This is a perfect example of how we eating defiled food. They ain't going to let the public know. Neither do they want them to know, because they want to stay in control. They want to make money. They want to keep us dumbed down, and they want to continue with their wickedness. But we need to know as Israelites in these last days that wherever we go on this earth, we're going to be eating defiled bread because everything is defiled.
Come on, man. That's true. I guess this devil was jealous because he couldn't grow any food.
Mm-hmm.
Even have the cattle to mate breed. So now he gotta, do all these crazy, these crazy inventions to come up to make up for the things he lacked, And of course he lacking in growing food because he can't do that. He used black Latinos and Native Americans to help grow. Because I guess his hands can't. He put his hands to the earth. The earth stopped for him, man. But it just show you, man, that these people won't stop at nothing to be like the Most High. It won't stop at anything. Let me get second. I was going to bring out 2 Thessalonians chapter 2.
Okay.
Because one thing I know about Esau, and even Moab, they want to be like the Most High. They got to be, especially Esau. Like he even pretended he was the Most High. So he want to be like the Most High, man. And that's why he keep coming up with these wicked ass inventions. It's sad enough that people got to go into the store and get things that they don't even know what it is. But Esau is so persistent in trying to do some wicked inventions that sell and market in the stores. He's so used to it. But of course, people just being people, they're not going to ask no questions. But let me bring this out. This is 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4. Verse 3. It said, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day should not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. And we know Esau doing all these wicked inventions. He's been exposed as the son of perdition, the man of sin. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worship, so that he as God sit up in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. So this devil, he's trying his best to compete or trying to be like the Most High, man. Is
Right. You have some more on that, King?
That's it. That's it.
Oh,
Let me
praise.
read this.
Go ahead, King.
Con. It was the human cloning, right? It said human cloning. The first hybrid human clone was created in November 1998 by Advanced Cell Technology. It was created using SCNT. A nucleus was taken from a man's leg cell and inserted into a cow's egg from which the nucleus had been removed. And the hybrid cell was cultured and developed into an embryo.
How sick is that?
Man, that's sick. That's sick as hell.
Who thinks it is? They took a nucleus was taken from a man's leg cell and inserted into a cow's egg. Who thinks of that? You know what? Let me take a cell from Tom over there and let me go put it in the Chick-fil-A cow. You know, what the hell is this, man?
Bro, that's crazy.
But
Man,
at
this
the
man is
same
sick.
time, we realized that all the damn videos and thoughts that we think about these different athletes or entertainers, hey, that's a clone, man. Hey, this article letting you know in 1998, this is when they went public with it. So you know they were doing it beforehand. 1998, it's 2022. Imagine how far they done got along with it. Let's go on down a little bit. Read that.
He said, "Who was the first human clone? Eve." Boy, I tell you, Esau, I got to give you props. But you was the devil, boy. It said on December 27, 2002, Bridget Bosler yelled a press conference in Florida announcing the birth of the first human clone called Eve. That's crazy, bro. Bro, I tell you, man. And I told you he want to be like the Most High.
Right.
He want to be just like the Most High took the rib of Adam and created Eve. So is Esau trying to create humans, and like you said, the first human clone was called Eve. So I mean, is we lying? Is the Bible lying, man? I guess, hey, I guess we some stupid idiots on the corner just yelling and just doing for no reason, man. Because we
Right.
just hate the white man for no reason, But this man trying to kill off the earth, man. He trying to create different inventions. He trying to clone human beings. Man, this man is sick, bro. But we crazy though, brother. Hey, brother, you crazy, brother. Just want you to know that.
Let me see. He says scientists announcement Friday that a group had produced the first clone human being triggered skepticism from researchers, condemnation from some religious groups, and federal investigation. The 7-pound baby, born Thursday by cesarean section, and will be home in 3 days, said Bridget Bosler, a chemist and CEO of Clonade, the company that did the experiment. She wouldn't say where the baby was born. She did say the birth was at 11:55 a.m. local time. Bosler said the baby, dubbed Eve by the scientists, is a clone of a 31-year-old American woman and was born outside of the United States, but wouldn't specify where. The woman donated the DNA for the cloning process, had the resulting embryo implanted, and then gestated the baby, Bosler said. If confirmed, that would make the child an exact genetic duplicate of her mother, the same as an identical twin. Bosler, who wouldn't reveal any names, said the mother had resorted to cloning because her husband was infertile. Excuse me. You know what's crazy? I just seen this in a movie this weekend, at damn Jurassic Park. The latest one they just came out with. It was a girl in there that they were actually searching for, and they actually did this same process with that girl. the woman, the scientists, used her DNA to clone the girl, and the girl looked just like her, even though she grew up and ended up being put to death or something. But she cloned that child, looked just like her, had the same mindset and everything. And this was
Damn.
just in that new Jurassic Park movie.
Is that new Jurassic Park movie?
Yeah, World Dominion, something like that.
Damn. Oh, so that's what happened. So they
Yeah.
cloned the girl.
Yeah, they had that's been the whole theme in the Jurassic Park series anyway.
True.
Cloning dinosaurs from from the old DNA, and then twisting it up to make something new. But bringing these articles out just to show you what they're doing in the labs. They cloning humans, they cloning animals. You eat clone meat, and they ain't got to tell you about it. They're doing a whole lot of wickedness. And we supposed to bring these things out and prophesy the downfall of these kingdoms and the wickedness that they do. And I also want to bring out one more thing that our brothers and sisters need to be aware of, which is what you see before you on this video that I showed to the brothers a while back, but it's going into seedless grapes, because like I know, it's hard as hell to find grapes in the grocery stores with seeds in them, watermelons as well. But this is the new process. Check this video out.
Bunch is about 20 centimeters from top to bottom. Tiny flowers about 2 millimeters in size come into bloom. You should snip off the flowers so that only about half of them are left clustered near the end. The right size of the bunch differs from one variety to the next. After flower clipping, the grapes are dipped in a chemical called gibberellin.
Gibberellin is a type of plant hormone that has a seed-removing effect on grapes. It gets rid of the seeds.
Gibberellin.
The technology for producing seedless grapes was developed in Japan.
There they go, blaming Asia.
Gibberellin is a hormone that influences the growth of a plant. It was first identified in rice plants that had grown unusually tall. A seedless grape was the accidental outcome of attempts to increase the size of various edible plants using gibberellin. Since then, gibberellin has played an indispensable role in the cultivation of seedless grapes.
Just thought you should know about all the new features you're missing out.
Was that all of it?
Man, that's crazy as hell, man.
Right.
And seedless grape, they showing you how they deliberately growing seedless grape. Like, that's an abomination, man. And in so many ways, like, the Lord said that, we supposed to eat food that got seeds in it. That's how he grew it.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, they said, no, the hell with that. We're gonna take the seeds up out of there. I guess Esau was tired of chewing on seeds, man.
Let me give one more script before we close out. Go to Book of Psalms, chapter 28, verse 1 through 5. It says, Book of Psalms, chapter 28, verse 1. Unto thee will I cry, O Lord, my rock. Be not silent to me, lest if thou be silent, I become like them that go down into the pit. Hear the voice of my supplication when I cry unto thee, when I lift up my hands toward thy holy oracle. Draw me not away with the wicked and with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts. Give them according to their deeds and according to the wickedness of their endeavors. Give them after the work of their hands. Render to them their desert. Because they regard not the works of the Lord, nor the operation of his hands. He shall destroy them and not build them up. Blessed be the Lord, because he have heard the voice of my supplications. So all praise to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai for him exposing them, lifting their skirts, letting his chosen ones, his servants, understand what's going on in this world so that we can better understand and better learn and apply to our lives and be able to move in a better light, understanding the wickedness that's going on. Because ultimately, everything that they do, these other nations, especially Esau, everything that they do is predicated on destroying us as a nation. So if they can get us to eat foods that make us sterile, that means we can't produce. If they can make us become sodomites, that means we can't produce. If the men are not in the households, that means we can't produce good families. Therefore, we won't have a mighty nation. So they constantly coming up with different ways to keep us destroyed on the bottom. So all praise to the Most High for allowing us to be able to bring this out. You know, and as always, it's an honor, it's a privilege to come before you, brothers and sisters, just to be able to give you an edifying lesson. Hopefully, this is something that sparks your interest, make you want to go do more research and find out more. But I'm your brother Ananias.
And brother Yakub.
We are A.O.I, the Awakening of Israel, and this has been another Truthful Tuesday. And on that note, we say shalom to you.
Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.